Hello, Cyberlinks. Apologies in advance. This video is going to be a little scuff in terms of audio, which is something that hasn't happened to me in a while. I do apologize, as this is the first video that I'm recording with my new mic, and because of that, Cyber is a baka and doesn't quite understand really how this mic works, so I do apologize. I'm working on it the best I can. You're going to hear the audio get really quiet at certain intervals, or you might hear the audio cut out altogether. I tried my best to try and recover the audio, but the microphone physically did not pick up audio for literally like a second or two every now and then. So there's not much I can do about it, but I still wanted to get this video out in a reasonable amount of time because there was some really good information that I wanted to get out to you guys. So I do apologize about this for today, but just know moving forward in the future, I will make sure that it doesn't happen again. So yeah, thank you as always. Hello, Cyberlinks. Today we had an eventful day as Xbox held their showcase for 2023 in exchange for their E3 conference. Now, while we can't go over everything that they spoke about, as this video would be well over 2 hours long, I do want to go over some highlights on the event that I thought were interesting. Real quick before we get into the video, I just want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video, me! Hit the link down below and check out my Redbubble page where I'm constantly releasing cool new merch and running tons of sales. All your support means the world to me, so without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Okay, to start things off, we saw the introduction of a new game by Ubisoft set in the Star Wars universe. The game is titled Star Wars Outlaws and appears to be set during the time of the Galactic Empire, following a young woman and her companion as they risk their lives to get away from the Empire. I'm a little upset that there was no gameplay shown, as we really don't know much about the game other than it's probably going to be a basic FPS, maybe. From what we can see, it does appear to be a single-player story with little to no online multiplayer, which personally, I tend to prefer for my Star Wars games. Tomorrow during Ubisoft's conference, we are set to hear more about the game, and possibly, I really hope at least we could see some gameplay, or at the very least see some story details to help us understand more in detail about what exactly is going on. As of now, Star Wars Outlaws is set to release sometime in 2024. Next up was the new Persona news. Now with this, it wasn't really super big news, seeing as how they were leaked over the weekend, unfortunately, by the official Atlas Instagram, but it was nice to see them officially announced. As a big fan of the Persona series, I always love seeing new games being announced. Not only are we getting a full remake of the original Persona 3, which we really badly needed because Persona 3 Portable is not the definitive way of playing that game, but we are also getting Persona 5 Tactica, as well as a new game by Atlas that isn't Persona or Shin Megami Tensei, titled Metaphor Re-Fantasio, I believe. Metaphor seems to be an interesting game that takes much inspiration from Fire Emblem and mixed with various elements of Shin Megami Tensei and Persona set in a more medieval time period. A decent amount of gameplay was shown, and I couldn't be more excited to actually play Metaphor when it releases sometime next year. We also saw that Microsoft will be updating the Xbox Series S. Now, say what you will about it being an underpowered system, holding back the generation, whatever. They will be releasing it later this year in a new carbon black colorway, a new 1TB SSD for $350. Personally, I really like this. I wish they would have just done this to begin with because I like black consoles. The white one, totally fine, but still, if I had the option, I would have gone with the black one, so. Throughout the show, we saw updates in regards to new features and planes being brought to Microsoft Flight Simulator, or Forza Motorsport getting an official release date, and some new Starfield-themed accessories, both a controller and a headset. Nothing major, but nonetheless some really cool things. Okay, rapid fire time. Still Wakes the Deep was announced. Seems to be an actually good horror game, though pretty much nothing was shown, only a short 1-minute teaser. South of Midnight was unveiled with no gameplay shown, but a tease to a Southern American folk battle of some sort. Very interested in seeing what the game will be about when more information is released. Overwatch 2 story missions are releasing later this summer. While the original PvE is still cancelled, Blizzard will be releasing basic story missions for people to play throughout, telling some sort of story that will be happening for the characters. Nobody really knows. Please note this is nothing new for the series. This was very similar to a set of missions that were included in the first game back in about 2017, and it told a series of stories that were in the form of a prequel to the game. No information was released as to whether this will be free or paid content. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth had a trailer drop, and can I just say that it very interesting watch. We saw Ichiban waking up on a beach with absolutely no clues or knowledge as to where he was. Let's just say that seeing everyone's reaction was kind of funny, and I look forward to finding out more information about what happened to him. Do note, based on what I can tell, it appears like this will be exclusive to Xbox again, as the official Sega YouTube channel does not note it coming to Sony's PlayStation, only Microsoft's Xbox and PC. Now for the grand finale, what you all have been waiting for, Starfield. Held in a technically separate event, although airing directly after the Xbox event, got a sneak peek at waiting for the game. I have to say, I do have high hopes for the game. If you would have asked me about a year ago what I thought of the game, I really wouldn't have cared, but now I have to admit it is looking interesting. The game developers broke down a little bit about how character creation would work, allowing customization of nearly everything about your character, developing different skills, ships, everything really throughout the game, and much more. We also got a sneak peek, around 15 minutes of gameplay, which I chose not to watch, obviously, for spoilers, but based off of what I can tell from it so far, it very looks much more like a polished version of Cyberpunk 2077. And I honestly am excited to see what comes of it in September when the game releases. Overall, I have to say I am pretty happy with what we got this year. Over the last couple of years, whenever Xbox does these big conferences, whether it was at E3 or sometime throughout the part of the year that they really had no news being talked about them, they always had a tendency to focus more on trailers and not like in real engine gameplay kind of stuff. And we still didn't get as much as I personally would have liked, but from what I can see, we definitely did get a good amount. And I'm still excited for a lot of games that honestly I had no knowledge or interest about even playing. I mean, my list of games to play this year just went from like 5 to 10. So I have to say, Xbox did a very good job about getting me hyped about the second part of this year. Hopefully everyone did enjoy today's video. If you did, please hit that like button or even hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed my content and want to see more of it. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts on the showcase. Were there any games that you were excited for that I didn't mention? Or are you sad that we didn't see more of a game that was announced? I'd love to hear everyone's thoughts on the matter. As always, thank you for joining me on this digital adventure.